Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to begin work on the shop to orchard stairway. Okay, so my plan is to shovel for about an hour, well, exactly an hour every day until I have this back area shoveled out. What we got here is 2 full blocks at the bottom, and we need to expose those. Then we're going to have wood going across, and then because those are staggered, the wood is going to go in front of these, and then it's going to go behind these very top ones. So the wall is going to be behind this right here. It's going to be up against it, and it's going to go in about a foot on either side. So it's going to go straight down here. So all of this has to come out. And I'm going to put it in the wheelbarrow and run it back here, and I'm going to fill this in and fill that in, and it might be a little more than I need for that. If so, I'll start putting it in the back of the gator, and we have a hollow spot up by the hydrant up there. I'll start dumping stuff over there, or maybe along here. There's always places to put fill. And I also want to every day grab a boulder from in here before they get all hidden again. There's a few down there, and somehow drag those over underneath the culvert here. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. So 1 rock a day, but 1 hour of digging a day should do it. I'll just do it, or possibly 2 hours. I'm going to do an hour in the morning and possibly an hour in the evening. I have zero clue how long this will take, so I don't know. It could be 3 hours, could be 12 hours, no idea. But until I get this dug out, it's all going to be time lapse of me digging. So here we go. It's day 3 on the stair build here. What happened yesterday is I got about an hour and a half into it in the morning, and it was about like this yesterday. And I came back later. It was so nice out. There was a good breeze and it was cool. And we got some really hot days coming up. So I just went at it and got some more work done. And I believe I filmed that and the axe handle coming off. So I went and fixed the axe handle and I went back at it, and I know I didn't film that, and I got quite a ways on it. What I need to do now, I'm going to use this kneeling pad and these hand spades and a bucket. It is really hard to get a shovel full of this stuff because of all the rocks. There is just tons of rocks. These are just the ones I saved. I got probably 4 times this many rocks out of it so far. And all of those rocks right there came from right there. Well, there and around the corner. All of them. We dug them out, pushed them around the corner, and stacked them up. That massive rock over there came from right here. So this is a very rocky area, and I don't think this part right here was touched yet with a backhoe or anything. So hopefully I won't hit any big rocks. We did dig out both of these sides for the blocks, but I don't know if he did anything with the middle here. I don't think we're going to hit a huge rock, but hopefully we don't hit anything bigger than we can handle. I know there's a good sized rock right under here. So between my hand tools and the same tools I've been using, I'm going to go at it again. And today is the last cool day for like 10 days. So I'm just going to go at it and try to get as far as I can this morning, or until I get overheated, and we'll see how far we can get. Okay, that's going to be it for today. I have an appointment in a little bit. Yeah, I was hoping to get that 2x12 on the backs of these bottom blocks and go across and then have some bracing in the middle, but that's not going to happen. And I was going to put 2x6s behind them, and that's not going to happen either. What I'm probably going to do is dig down on these sides right here as far as I can go and attach the 2x6 like that. This is a really rough surface, so I'll probably have to use some shims and stuff, but shouldn't be that bad. And then I'll use galvanized bolts and bolt it to all three of these. I'll have to make the holes big and everything because these blocks move around a bit. So I'll have a 2x6 running all the way down, and then I can go across on the top. Well, and then I'll have to just go across and up to the face, down probably to about the bottom there, and then the rest should be okay. I'm going to fill the bottom with concrete and concrete those 2x6s in. So with the concrete and the 3 bolts, yeah, that should hold it plenty good. And then behind the wall, I'm going to be putting crushed rock or washed rock that's in landscape fabric. So yeah, that'll be kind of interesting. Like right here, that board's going to have to go across the top of this unless it breaks. When I start taking a pickaxe to this, some of this might break. Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting, but it looks like we'll have a wall from here up, and the rest of this will have that gravel and landscape fabric. What I'm trying to do is 2 different things. I'm trying to keep this dirt from collapsing in on the stairway, and I'm trying to keep the fine silt from washing in here. I think I pointed this out earlier. It's been a few days, but it goes all the way down there, halfway or a third of the way down the building, and then this whole area has that fine dirt as well. It's not a huge problem, but I need to retain that in order to build the stairway. So while I'm retaining that, I want to do something with that fine silt, stop that fine silt from washing through. And the gravel is going to keep it from building up pressure on these wooden boards. Yeah, not ideal. When I build the stairway, it's going to have to be a little bit away from the blocks, and I'll just scribe like a cap that goes to the blocks so stuff doesn't go down in between. But the stairway itself is not going to be attached to the blocks because the blocks are going to move. The stairway is going to be attached to this double header across the top there. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting project. I think I'll probably end this video once I get everything dug out and have the design for how the wall's going to look, and then we'll pick up after that on the construction of the wall, and then we'll do another one for the stairway. The stairway is going to be treated wood with 3 stringers, and I got to get a railing in. I'll probably bolt the railing to the block, but again, we'll have to see on that. Okay, I'm gonna get going, and I will see you again tomorrow. Okay, it's day 4 of digging, and today is going to be the final day on this video, and it's going to be fairly short. I can't go any further on this side. This rock continues, and it would actually touch the wall if I went down far enough. Well, the block doesn't go down that far, but this is basically it. But what I'm going to do, well, I'll show you that on some drawings that I made up, but I had originally planned on putting a board going across from the back of the block to the back of the block, but that's not going to happen. I only have like that much room above the top of the rock until you get to this next block right here. And again, that might not make sense, but I was thinking of scribing it. I'm still going to do the scribing, but I'm going to leave about 3 or 4 inches of meat on my board above it. So in order to do that, I'm going to put my 4x6s out here, and those will be attached to a 2x12 that goes, like I was saying, from block to block up here. Yeah, it may sound a little bit complicated, but it's going to be pretty darn interesting. And up on top of this block, I'm going to drill in a couple places and just put some rebar in there. And once I have that bottom board in there, I'm going to fill the whole back with concrete, kind of taper it down, and then fill the fronts with concrete, and that'll key in to the rock right here. You could see where it's going to go into these hollows and stuff. So the 4x6 is never going to be pushed forward, which is what it's going to want to do once this earth settles in. And on this side, I'm going to dig down a little further, and I'm going to put probably a form right here and have the concrete going up against the 4x6. Yeah, it's going to work out really good, but it's kind of complicated. It was easy before, but things are never that easy. So let's go look at those drawings. Then I'll get this little spot right here dug out, and that'll be it for this video. The next video is going to be pretty darn interesting as I do all that concrete pouring and key into this rock and stuff. You can see kind of that I have my 4x6 on that right hand side, and it goes down into the dirt, and I have my concrete going, well, it's going to go under this board that goes across and be piled up against the front of this. Yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. And then the one on this side, I'm going to cut a taper at the bottom so it fits down into that tightness. And I was thinking of putting, well, and I probably will, put these 2 pigs up into the bottom of the 4x6 and have these dangling down into the concrete. Yes, I will do that. But I dug up what concrete I have. This stuff appears to be hard, but I'll open a bag and check it out. But this is definitely not enough concrete, so I gotta run to Menards and get some concrete and another 2x12. Here are my 4x6s. So I have enough to get started on that, but I don't have enough to get to where I want to get before the rain comes in like 3 days. I'd like to have all this concrete poured already by the time it rains. So I'm going to get that little bit of digging done and then head to Menards. And if I have time, I'm going to get these 2 4x6s in place and this board that goes across the top, which is already cut to size. Then I got to cut one of them shorter and get that into place. Or actually, I'm going to buy a 2x12 by 4 feet and just trim a little bit off the edge. and get that into place. Okay, let me show you what I did with all of the dirt, and we'll get that little thing dug and wrap this video up. Most of this, or probably all of it, was not on camera, but this is all the dirt, and none of these rocks were here. I went and gathered rocks from down in here, and the rest of these rocks are from over there, and you've probably seen it. The tops of the walls are full of rocks too. Just tons of rocks in that ground over there. But I have more rocks to put back here, but we'll get to that at a later date. We are in a rush to get this done, so I'm going to dig that hole and then we'll end this video. Let me show you these real quick. Got some really nice rocks, flat capstones for my wall in the Dwarf Orchard. And this is another load of nondescript rocks that's going to go back there. All right, let's get that dug and get the heck out of here. Okay, that was pretty quick. All right, I'm going to run to town. So in the next video, I'll be starting to build this wall, and with any luck, I'll get it finished, but I don't think so. I have to get gravel for behind the wall, and unfortunately, that's in a different town, but you never know. We'll see on that. So, make sure you're subscribed, and then click on that little bell icon so you're notified when we post the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.